Well, Donald Trump has just been busted on hot mic, and you guys will not believe what he said. In fact, I'm not 100% sure he necessarily wanted this information out. But what on earth is going on? Well, I'm going to go backwards to take you forwards to the actual story. So let's go first to this first article here on timesnownews.com. Alina Abba resigns as acting U.S. attorney for New Jersey after Third Circuit ruling on unlawful appointment. Alina Abba resigned Monday as acting U.S. attorney for New Jersey following a Third Circuit ruling upholding her unlawful appointment, ending a months-long clash with federal judges who refused to extend her interim term. Now, the good news is even though she was forced to resign by judges, a Democrat, I'm pretty sure. She is now going to be taking a new position. This is on Fox News. Alina Abba becomes Bondi's advisor, leaving role as top New Jersey prosecutor. So that's the good news. But the bad news is I feel like there are Democrats basically at every angle attacking us in every way, shape, and form that we can. I can't believe that they actually got Alina Abba to resign. She was forced to resign. And this isn't good news for Republicans because, hey, let's be frank, not a single Democrat who has actually committed a crime has been arrested as of yet. Unlike this time in the Biden administration, we're talking well over 100 people that have been arrested, including Trump's cabinet members and lawyers. Now, with all of that, Alina Abba put this out on her page regarding her resignation, and all this is going to lead to the hot mic moment, so just hang with me. Here's her statement there on her X page, and I'm going to summarize it. Basically, this is her statement regarding why she's stepping down. And she goes, she's fought on behalf of the American people. And while she was focused on delivering results, I'm going to focus it on the second part here. Judges in her state took advantage of a flawed blue slip tradition and became weapons for the politicized left. For months, these judges stopped conducting trials and entering sentences, leaving violent criminals on the streets, literally. They joined New Jersey senators who care more about fighting President Trump than the well-being of the residents which they serve. And she kind of concludes with this, and I'm summarizing. It's this bottom part right here where you see that little slip there. But do not mistake my compliance for surrender. This decision will not weaken the Justice Department, and it will not weaken me. A freaking men to that. I think that's a bold statement coming from a very strong woman. She is not getting weakened. And I really hope that she does Pam Bondi a bit of good, because Bondi has kind of been on my bad side for a little bit. But before I get into the hot mic moment, I got to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Noble Gold Investments. As we wrap up 2025, we're weeks away. One thing is clear, uncertainty is not temporary. It's the world that we are now living in. Waiting for things to get back to normal isn't a plan. It's a gamble that you're taking. And that's why Noble Gold Investments is so important. They help everyday Americans protect what they've built with real gold and silver. When everything else falls apart, gold and silver maintain their value. That's why I want to encourage you to give them a call today at 1-877-646-5347. And they also have 401ks. You can convert your 401k to a solid Roth IRA or an IRA itself. Or if you want to get your hands on tangible gold and silver, they'll also do that. And by the way, right now they are giving away up to 10 of these 1 ounce silver holiday coins that you see on the screen here. This thing is absolutely awesome. So make sure you mention my name, and that's with any new and qualified account. Or you can go to lisahavengold.com, fill out this information, and they're going to send you a free wealth kit. By the way, there's always a risk to investing. There's never a guarantee. If you want more information, click that more button if you're on your cell phone, or click the link in the description box below. All right. So what exactly is this blue slip that Alina Abba was referencing, right? Let's get into that, right? Well, take a look at this. And the AI version, just kind of give you a quick statement on that. It says the blue slip is a Senate tradition that allows home state senators to approve or block federal judicial nominees by submitting a blue form indicating their support or opposition. President Trump obviously has criticized the process, claiming it hinders his ability to appoint judges, which it absolutely does, especially in Democrat-run states. But here's kind of what Donald Trump said regarding the whole thing, and this is on Newsmax. Trump, scrap the blue slip rule blocking nominees. He goes on to state, President Donald J. Trump on Monday criticized Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa, chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, for adhering to the Senate's longstanding blue slip tradition, which lets home state senators block U.S. attorney and judicial nominees from advancing. And here's what he said specifically. I'm going to quote him. If I put George Washington and Abe Lincoln to be the U.S. attorney in New Jersey or be the U.S. attorney in Virginia, we have Democrat senators who will not approve them, Trump said. And this is a gentleman's agreement that's lasted for too long. I hope that somebody speaks to Senator Grassley about doing something about the blue slip, because I'm telling you, I put great people, top people, highest education, the best lawyers in the U.S. attorney and both senators. It only takes one, but if they're Democrat senators, they say we're not going to approve it. I'm going to hit pause because he's absolutely right. You go to these Democrat states, and unfortunately, the Republicans will approve the Democrat judges. I'm not even joking, but the Democrats don't do that for us. We've got a lot of rhinos in the Democrat Party. We have no Democrats in the Republican Party. I am just saying a fact, and this is really hindering it. It goes on to state, I have a couple of them say, why don't you appoint Democrats? All because Grassley with this blue slip stuff will not let anybody go by. By the way, the Democrats have violated the blue slip provisions on numerous occasions, but we don't. And that's the truth, right? And what it means is, I guess I just have to keep appointing people for 3 months and then just appoint another one and another one and another one. And it's a very sad situation. We're losing a lot of great people. And that's so true. So Donald Trump's having to go over and over and over again because we're not having the Republicans play the game the same way the Democrats are. And the Democrats are like, yeah, we're going to play the game. We're just going to keep you out if you're a Republican. Done. Bottom line. There's no wiggle room. There's nothing. And so you have to keep appointing and appointing and appointing and appointing in order just to get somebody in there that, you know, has similar views to you. That is why Donald Trump is obviously mad. Now, he was actually busted on hot mic shortly after he made that statement. And here's what he had to say. And I want you to take a listen to what he says here.
Hey, Jeff, you agree with me on blue slip? You know I cannot appoint anybody. Huh? I can't appoint anybody. Everybody I've appointed, their time is expired. And then they're in default. And then we're losing patience.
So there you have it. Donald Trump is really venting there, like, and legitimately venting. He's like, hey, you know, so-and-so, I don't know who he called out there, somebody's name, Jep or Jet or something like that. But he's like, don't you agree with me on the blue slip? I can't appoint anybody. I can't appoint anybody. This is difficult. This is insane. Their time's expired. They're on default. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm losing my patience. I'm losing my patience. And rightly so, because what's the point in being a president if you can't make certain things happen at some level? Obviously, there's restrictions. We have 3 branches of government for a reason. However, appointing people into positions is really a big thing in the executive branch, right? And so you should be able to have some of that flexibility. And unfortunately, these Democrats are stomping on our heads. Now, we are winning in some areas, but because we have so many rhinos in the party, we're losing, folks. And to be quite frank, I am terrified for the midterms. Here's one of the reasons why, right? Take a look at red state here. Could the GOP retire itself into the minority in 2026? Who's in and who's out for the midterms? And here's the biggest portion of that. House members are calling it quits in Congress at a record pace, as 40 members, around 10%, have already said they will not run for re-election in 2026. That number may rise after Christmas break. Senate retirements are about even with the 2024 cycle, but in the House of Representatives, retirements are happening at the largest rate in more than 10 years. At the same point in 2023, there were only 30 retirements. In 2018, Republicans lost 42 seats in the House, with 32 of those saying they would not seek re-election in 2017. Currently, Republicans are ahead of Democrats in retirement announcements 23 to 17. In fact, here's another statement. Upward of 20 House representatives, right, once it loads, are expected to announce their retirement in the coming weeks. 20 of them. And I don't feel like we're making any headway, right? Because we've got the radical left. They're calling us names, xenophobic, Nazi, bad people, evil, racist, and the whole 9 yards. And they're really actually going, it's not like they're not going somewhere with this message, but people believe them. right? We're kidnapping people off the streets with ICE. There's a lot of people that are actually subscribing to that, thinking we're actually arresting U.S. citizens in the whole 9 yards. It's not happening. But these lies are so blatant in the mainstream media that there are a lot of normies out there, not you guys listening, but the regular average American people who stay out of politics that are just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Because the Democrat left, the radical left, has control of the media. And so what are we doing on our side? We've arrested nobody. We've done nothing thus far. And this latest stuff ticks me off. This is on USA Today. Judge dismisses DOJ charges against Comey and Letitia James. By the way, regarding Miss Letitia James, I thought we had the strongest case against this woman. It was clear cut, in my opinion. But hey, who am I? She's a Democrat. They get off scot-free. Grand jury rejects DOJ's second attempt at mortgage fraud case against Letitia James. In other words, she's free like a butterfly. And she's gone again doing crappy stuff now to try to get rid of other Republicans, right? And hey, James Comey, we don't even have an edge on him, really. Here's the Guardian. Judge blocks Trump prosecutors from accessing key evidence in Comey's case. After the cases were dropped, right? Well, now we were able to go back and try to hire another prosecutor in order to do it. And now we've got that judge saying, no, you can't give us that evidence against him, because it might incriminate him. Literally. I don't see headway in that at all. So, that we're still waiting on, like I believe Brennan's case. We're still waiting on a couple of cases regarding all of those. But I think we had some of the strongest cases on Letitia James and even Comey. But now this is where we're at. This is what we are standing against, folks. If you're a Democrat, they let you out, just like the J6er, right? The J6 bomber at DNC and the RNC that left the devices outside. Well, turns out he's a lefty. He definitely ain't a Republican. He worked for a bail bondsman, and he was out doing bail bond. He actually sued, their company sued the Trump administration. And so this guy was obviously a lefty. And hey, by the way, it looks like the FBI probably knew who it was under Joe Biden's administration, but chose not to act on it because, hey, they got no new information under Kash Patel and Dan Bongino's FBI. No new information. They found it all in the existing information. Because back under Joe Biden, they said, this is a leftist. We'll turn our eyes to the left and ignore it. Wow. I feel like the right needs to up their game and do tit for tat, like for like. And I'm tired of the reverse. Maybe you are too. But anyway, obviously we're making some headway, Donald J. Trump, but he can't do it himself. And there's lots of people in Congress, in judicial, that really need to step up and start acting. And we got to stop all this infighting, by the way. It's disturbing. Anyhow, I love you all. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.